Hi, welcome back to Modelia. This is where we bridge the gap between physics, technology, and simulation. Today we're having a look at LM Studio's Bionic. So there's the website is just lmstudio.ai. Where you may have previously gotten LM Studio application that you've used to run local AI. This is an attempt at building something akin to the Claude desktop app. So after you download and install and double click that, you are confronted with the default project. So let's just run through setting this up really quickly. So in the settings, you have your usual general stuff. Session management, appearance, voice. I'm told that the voice is supposed to be an excellent model. I have not tried that out yet. You can connect to the basic MCP servers, or you can customize, add your own manually. The trick you really want to do is you want to turn on LM Link. This will require you to sign in at LM Studio and create an account, but it is well worth it. This gives you the ability to connect to other machines on your network to serve up models. So if you've got an LM Spark in your stack, then this is the way to go. LM Link, from what I've read, is a customized version of Tailskip, so it should work as you are familiar with. One nice feature is that when you have LM Link set up, you can explore and look at the latest models that they have available. And this will, in fact, Muse Glimmer just came out today. But the nice thing is, if you notice over here, you can push this over to your Spark from your Mac desktop. A very nice feature, so you don't have to go run over there or SSH in and pull it down that way. The library, right now I have it set up for remote, so when you have the LM Link turned on, you have local models that you have on the machine you're running on. Remote are models that are elsewhere on your network, on other machines on your network. And then you can also have cloud models. If you want to use cloud models, you will want to charge up some usage credits on your account at LM Studio. So with that said, let's go back to the app. One thing that's important to note is there are two kinds of projects: code and not code, for lack of a better term, but it's the equivalent of Qwen. The only thing is that the work environment here in Bionic is more tightly sandboxed. So if you recall all the videos that came out on Cowork originally, everybody and their brother was doing that initial exercise of, hey, Cowork, clean up my desktop. Because of the sandboxing, you actually have to use a code project so that it can access your desktop folder. Just a little tip for you there. The work projects are really meant for standalone things that can stay entirely within the sandbox, and they can go out across the web and do research and things like that, but they can't access your local hard drive. So let's set up a new project name, and we'll just use that example, desktop Green cup. Wow, coding. Use a folder. Folder picker. Desktop. Useful. Create. So what I'm going to do here as a little exercise is I've got a handful of screenshots just laying about, cluttering up my desktop. Lazy me. I've got a folder to put them in, but I never rename them and put them in the folder. That seems kind of tedious. That's a job for AI. So let's go ahead and have Bionic take a crack at this. And you see here, I've got Qwen 3.6, and the little icon there is a network icon that's running remotely on my GX10, which is a Spark clone. Let's just put the prompt in here. Okay, the prompt is a trial prompt. I'm not having it actually do the renaming or moving it, just to be careful. But it will report back with suggested names and the suggested topical folders to place them in. I'm going to send, and this is going to work for a little while. Okay, that took a little over 8 minutes to complete, and the results are, I'll say they're definitely not up to the standard that you would have for a frontier model, but again, it's Qwen 3.6 35 billion model. Interestingly, it was not able to actually read the text inside the screenshots, so it was inferring the topic of the screenshot based on visual elements only, which is a little disappointing. But I suppose it's understandable. That's the perils of doing these things kind of cold on a video. And I did not know what I was going to get, and you can see the result. So let's go on to another example that I did run previously. And being the Model Ear channel, I went a little bit of speak. So what I did was I created a project for modeling of fusion propulsion. So you can see up here I took a couple of papers that I had. I referred to a couple of key references for modeling fusion propulsion. And I simply asked that using those 4 sources, and now mind you, this was done in the sandbox, in the work mode, to have it generate a markdown document distilling the information into an outline. I gave it boundary condition, make it equivalent to 10 presentation slides with no more than 5 bullet points under a single short paragraph. And this first one, out the gate, I tried it. It failed because I needed to bump up the context on the model. Once I did that, it only took it about 6 minutes to digest these. And some of these are very long PDFs, but it digested it, gave me an outline of what the slides were, and I'll open up a document. This side window here, you can open it up for web browser or for files. The result, the only quibble I really have, aside from 1 or 2 technical things that it may have gotten wrong, I'd have to give this more of a fine-tooth comb, is, to my mind, that's not exactly a short paragraph that you would put on a slide in a presentation. But it hit the 5 bullets, it gave me 10 charts, and for the most part it looks very accurate, which it should be since it was basing it on those papers. So then I went a little further and I asked it, well, given all this information, build me a design document that I can give over to a frontier model to start speccing out and implementing a computer model of this. And sure enough, it generated a very detailed design document with some initial top-level requirements, how the code would be laid out, pretty much everything you would expect from a design document. So all told, this is a fairly useful tool to allow you to make easier use of machines and models that you have already on your network. So with that, thank you for joining. Hit that like, subscribe, hit the bell button, do all the things, and we'll see you next time on The Modelier.